Howdy folks, my name is Lance090 and welcome to my tier list for the Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout maps. We've played quite a lot of Fall Guys lately. We've got probably close to 40 wins now, so I felt it was time that I do this tier list because lots of people are out there doing it. New maps are on the way soon, so let's get right into it here. Royal Fumble. I don't know if it's S tier. I think I like it a lot though as far as in-games go. It's very entertaining, keeps things fresh and fast-paced. It's not a very common one to see either. So when you see it, it's kind of exciting to see. It is a little hit and miss because you could just have the tail the entire time and have someone take it from you at the end. But at the same time, you can do the exact same thing. And I've been in both situations where I've had it the entire game and lost it at the last second. And I've also grabbed it at the last second as well. Egg Scramble. I like Egg Scramble more than most people. I'm even gonna say, S tier. People are gonna be pretty mad about that one. I just find Egg Scramble to be really fun. There's a lot of different strategies you can take on it. You could try to just grab as many eggs as you want and get them back to your team. You can grab the other people, the other teams, and grab their people from bringing their eggs in. You can go raid their nest and take the eggs out. You can go on defense and defend your nest. There's just so many different things you can do on here. And defense is overpowered, by the way. If you're ahead in Egg Scramble, go on defense, and it's really hard to lose. Hit Parade. I'll give it a B tier. It used to be a little bit more fun, I think, because it was one of the more balanced obstacle courses, but now everyone's pretty good at Hit Parade. So if you make one mistake, you lose, basically. If you get hit by one of the balls and get knocked to the side near the end, you're not making it. Oopsy Daisy. Oopsy Daisy is pretty fun to always see. Is it S tier? Sure, it's S tier. So Oopsy Daisy is the one where you jump through the hoops. It's always fun to see. It's actually not been showing up that much lately, now that they've nerfed how often you get the team games. But it's usually pretty fun. Team Tail Tag. I actually like this more than regular tail tag. And I have to say, I'd probably be more excited to see Team Tail Tag than I would be to see Hit Parade. This list is a lot different than how I would have reacted when the game first came out. But yeah, Team Tail Tag, there's a lot more margin for error on Team Tail Tag compared to regular Tail Tag. Because only 1 of 4 teams gets eliminated. So your chances of losing is pretty low. Jump Club, and there's also lots of different strategies you can do. Jump Club. I'm always pretty excited to see it because I always do pretty well in Jump Club. That's basically all it comes down to. I think it might be a little bit boring because all you have to do is jump. Once you figure out the strategy, or at least my strategy is, I run with the spinner, or I run against the spinner for the first 4 rotations, and then I run with it for like the next 4 rotations, and then I stand still. Because that's just how it accelerates in pace. And that's the way to get through it pretty much every single time. Whirligig, it's an S tier map. Whirligig, I think, is the most fun obstacle course. There's a lot of room for error. You can mess up quite a bit and still win a Whirligig. I don't know why. People have a lot of trouble in Whirligig for some reason. But there's all sorts of little tiny strategies you can do in Whirligig that are really fun. Like at the start, I always head to the right-hand side of the spinners. And if you do that, you can get launched forward pretty successfully and pretty accurately. Jump Showdown. I also like seeing Jump Showdown a lot. This list is very S tier written right now. I think it'll change as we get through here, though. I'm always excited to see Jump Showdown. I've been having fun with it. I finally started to win matches on Jump Showdown. It took me a while to get there because it was out of the game for so long that it's just hard to get any experience with it. But now I have a couple wins on there, so I enjoy it every time I see it. It's like Jump Club, except it's the end game. Fall Ball. Everyone loves Fall Ball, man. There's nothing wrong with Fall Ball. The only thing that sucks on Fall Ball is when the teams aren't even. They still haven't fixed that problem. They said there was an update coming out that was going to make it so team games could only be balanced, but it hasn't come out. But it's always fun. Fall Mountain. I'm going to put it on A tier. I would have normally put that in S tier, I think. But the thing with Fall Mountain is the desync. The desync's really bad, and for me, it's not so bad. My desync levels aren't too bad, but I have friends who have worse internet connections than me, and for them, the desync is like a second long. And on Fall Mountain, you just can't have that because at the end, it's going to be neck and neck every single time almost. And it's not fair for them. Slime Climb's S tier. So Slime Climb, it's just one of the most fun obstacle courses, even more fun than the Whirligig. If you mess up on Slime Climb, you lose. Like, you don't get sent back to the start to try again. You lose. So actually, you could get this on like the second round, and that could be game over. Everyone could get eliminated except for one person, and they could win on Slime Climb. Which I've never seen, but it could be fun. Gate Crash. Gate Crash is a B. It's pretty much the same as Hit Parade, I would say. You have a little bit more room for failure. You know what? I'm actually going to move Hit Parade to C. But Gate Crash, there's a little bit more room for failure than a Hit Parade. Not a ton. And all Gate Crash is about is just timing. If you get your timing right, you're not really going to fail that. Block Party. It's just kind of boring. It doesn't knock very many people out, typically. Sometimes people will get stuck in a pile and it'll knock a lot of people out. You control a little bit on it, but it's pretty difficult to make it work. And it's just a little too easy. Everyone knows how to do the hole-in-the-wall thing. Dizzy Heights. I put up here with Gate Crash. It's just a good old reliable obstacle course. It's not that difficult. You can make a lot of mistakes on Dizzy Heights and still make it. Well, not a ton of mistakes. I'd still say a little bit more than Gate Crash, but still not as much as Whirligig. But there's not much to it. There's not really that many tricks to it. Regular Tail Tag. Is it D? You can make an argument that it's maybe C. I don't like regular Tail Tag. It's just not... It's a 50-50 game compared to Team Tail Tag, which is a 1/4 game. It's there's always half as many tails as there are people. And people can just grab it at the very end, kind of like... Where's Royal Fumble? But the stakes are a lot lower. It's in the middle of the thing, so it's actually... If you get eliminated there, it's less fun than making it to Royal Fumble and losing, you know? Rock and Roll. I actually like Rock and Roll a fair bit compared to most people. I don't think I can justify giving it as high as Jump Club and stuff, though, so I'll put it in B. It's probably our highest B rating, I'd say. It's the one where you just push it with your team. The only thing that stinks is if you get a really bad team on this one. If you have people who are like jumping into the ball at the start, jumping doesn't help until towards the end, really. And people will grab each other too because they don't know how to push the ball. I don't know why they can't figure it out. You can only push it by running into it in this one. But usually it's pretty fun, as long as you don't have a terrible team. Borders. Borders, I think, is just a worse egg scramble. There's less margin for error. I like it more than I used to, actually, because I figured out some strategies to do a little bit better on it. Defense is overpowered. Once you get 3 balls and you go on defense, you're in pretty good shape. But it's really hard to go on offense on Hoarders, because it only takes 1 defender to stop like 4 people pushing on Hoarders. DoorDash, F tier. I used to rate it a little bit higher, but people have gotten more and more competitive on DoorDash. Everyone knows what to do now, and there's 0 margin of error. If you make 1 mistake, it's over. Not necessarily. There's a few things you can do. You can jump downhill to gain some speed towards the end, but usually once people get clumped together, and once people are finding the entrances quickly, it's all over, because then everyone just knows where to go, and they all clump together, and you can't make it through the doorways, and it's basically just a coin toss if you're going to make it or not. Jinxed. Jinxed I'd probably rate as low as regular Tail Tag. It's a 50-50 knockout that can come in the second round of the game, which that is fun, watching 50% of the people get knocked out. But yeah, these two are basically the same kind of thing, because they're both 50-50 knockouts. But it's too perfectly balanced, because any person you infect is going to start infecting your team, and vice versa. So there's not really much strategy you can do. The only thing I've figured out on this one is just survive as long as possible. That's really the best thing to do. Tiptoe, I like more than most people, but I still don't like to see it. It's not really that fun. It's the one where you have to find the path through, and people push you and push you out of the way. The tiles are made of like ice, so they're more slippery than normal terrain. And basically, you just have to be standing at the end. But if you get knocked off at the end, it's all over. You can't make any mistakes at the end. Fruit Shoot. I'd probably rank here like a D2 because I don't like seeing it. I've gotten better at doing it, but it's still, I don't really get much fun out of it. It's just a little bit boring. Hexagon, I'll give it a B. I've gotten better at Hexagon. It took me forever to even get a single win on Hexagon, but then I actually went on Hexagon more than Fall Mountain, which were like the main two that always show up. But I've also gotten worse at Fall Mountain, so I basically traded places with them. But it's a lot more skill-based than Fall Mountain. Fall Mountain's just get lucky, you don't get hit by any balls, you should make it. But everyone might make it at the same time if everyone did good. Hexagon, there's a ton of strategy and things that can go wrong. But when I see it, I'm still a little disappointed to see it. I don't have that much fun on Hexagon. Rollout, I used to love it, and then I started to not like it very much, and now I love it quite a bit. I'll put it in A tier. Why? Because it's really fun to throw people off on Rollout, and it's pretty easy to learn the strategy of how to throw people out on Rollout. And you can get revenge on Rollout. If you've had someone trolling you in the game, you can knock them out on Rollout if you want. And it's very fun. Seesaw is F. Get rid of Seesaw, it's horrible. I never want to see it again in my life. It's basically the same thing as DoorDash, where if you fall behind a little bit and you get stuck in the crowd, you lose. There's like, you have no control over that. It's out of your hands. Perfect Match, it's also F tier. It's not for the same reasons as DoorDash and Seesaw. DoorDash and Seesaw are just everything. Your control is gone. Perfect Match, you have control, but it's very boring. It takes a long time. It doesn't knock out very many people. But you can make it through, so it's probably the least F tier of them, but I still don't like to see it very much. So that's my tier list. It's definitely more on the positive side, because I try to be more positive about things in general. There's a bit of a pit in the center, and it gets a little bit flared out at the bottom here. Hopefully you want to get some new maps. Maybe these F tier ones will show up less, and the other ones will be a little better. But we're all out of time for this video here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, remember to hit the like button. Keep the conversation going in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm probably going to start doing tutorial videos for each map, where I'm going to break down all the tips and tricks for each one. So stay tuned for that, and I hope to see you in the next video.